In today's video, we're going to be doing front rotors and pads on the Cupra Formentor VZx 2023. Everything I need is here on the table, but you'll find all of your part numbers and a list of items you need in the description down below. When servicing a car, do a bit of an upgrade as you're there. I've opted for DBA's Street Performance front pads and their 4000 series T3 rotors. Now you've got your wheel off, it's a good time to give your working area a good clean. I'm going to use some of Autoglim's all-purpose cleaner, spray it all over and give it a wipe down. Now you're all cleaned up, you're going to grab your 13mm and your 17mm, and we're going to remove the caliper. Now I've got my two 13mm out. I've just popped the caliper up here because we're going to decompress it. It's easier to do it there. We've only got this caliper compressor, which isn't quite the right one for this job. So instead we're going to get one of these pads, and you'll see we're going to wedge it in between there to make it much easier. If you want the correct one, you need to get one of these. These pads, essentially, you just lightly pull them out. You'll see on this pad, you've got your brake wear sensor here, which connects to the pad. You're just going to unclip it from here. These little tabs can be quite tricky. What you want to do is you want to push down on this thing, push up a little bit, and then it'll be easier to pull back. Now you've got both your pads off, you're going to be taking the carrier off the knuckle using your 21mm bolts here and here. Now you've broken these loose with the breaker bar or the ratchet. I'm just going to unscrew these all the way. We're going to be cleaning up these bolts because you're fine to reuse them. I've got a couple of wire brushes and some cloths just to clean them up when I get them off. Now you've got your carrier removed, we're going to work on taking off the rotor. To get the rotor off, we're going to be removing this set screw using our T30. If yours is quite seized up, you might want to get some penetrating fluid and just spray it in there and let it sit. Mine broke free quite easily, even though I can see a little bit of corrosion on it, which is why we'll be replacing it later. Sometimes your rotors are a bit seized to the hub. Best thing to do is go and grab one of your lug nuts, feed that into the lug nut hole like so, and get a soft hammer and just give it a soft bangs around it to loosen it up, and the bolt just stops it from falling down on your foot or damaging anything. Now you've got your rotor off, it's a good time to give it a good clean and get all this rust off. It's going to spray it with a bit of all-purpose cleaner and attack it with a wire brush. Now you've cleaned up all the surface rust, time to put our new rotor on. Here's our lovely new DBA rotor. We'll just line it up, here she is. Just going to slide this one in here. What you're going to need is your T30, and the manual says torque this down to 8 Newton meters, which is very, very little. So you can just do it until firm, just like that. And she's on. Now I put the rotor on, it's time to put the carrier back onto the knuckle. Get your nice, now cleaned up bolts. I attacked mine with a wire brush and some Autoglim all-purpose cleaner. Just do these up hand tight for now. Going to get your 21mm socket and a torque wrench set to 200 Newton meters for these. Now before we put the pads on, we're just going to put the littlest little bit of grease on the carrier just to help our pads slide along. Now, time to put the pads in. Got these little metal clasps here. You just want to put tension against those and they'll just slide in just like that. Nice and easy. Now you've got both your new pads in, don't forget to connect up your brake wear sensor as well. Push that in so you hear it click, just like that. Nice. Now your carrier and all your new pads are all on, it's time to put our caliper back on. We've already decompressed this, so this should slide on nice and simple, just like that. Now you've got the caliper back on, going to get our brand new 13mm bolts, and you're just going to slide these through and put them on finger tight. Now you've got these bolts nice and snug, you're going to get your torque wrench set to 35 Newton meters. And you have the 13mm socket. All done now. I've gone through all the bolts and put a bit of paint on them to make sure they don't move. And time to put the wheel back on. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. As I mentioned at the beginning, all the part numbers, everything I use will also be details in the description.